Okay, I'm not going to lie. Today's lesson is going to be tricky, all right? At this point, I'm just assuming that you are solid on how to graph a slope-intercept form equation. I'm assuming that we can just graph this in our sleep. Y equals 2x minus 5. The y-intercept is -5. The slope is +2, so up 2 over 1. If you're not 100% certain how to do that, please go back and watch the previous videos or ask me in class, and we'll get you solid there. But we really need to know how to do that before we get to this next part, okay? If you are solid on that, then today's lesson isn't going to be all that much different, okay? We know how to do the hardest part already. Let's go ahead and just graph this. Y is greater than 2/3 x minus 6. Let's graph it like an equation first. Let's just draw the line. So the y-intercept is -6, and the slope is 2/3, up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, and maybe down 2, back 3, down 2, back 3, and this is going to be our line, okay? But now, that's a line of an equation. Those are exact answers. If it's an inequality, there's a lot of things. I don't just care where y equals 2/3 x minus 6. I want to know anywhere that y is greater than 2/3 x minus 6. Now, let's go back to some stuff we already know about inequalities, right? So I'm gonna rewind time just a second, and I'm just gonna say x is less than 14, all right? If I asked you to graph that, x equals less than 14 just on a number line, so just a number line from a couple weeks ago, we would have a circle here, right? And this arrow is pointing to the left because it's anything that's less than 14, but we had to signify that 14 was not a part of the answer, so the way we did that was we kept this as an open circle, right? To show that it wasn't part of that. Well, the same thing down here with this equation that we just wrote. I want to know where y is greater than all of that, but that line is actually not a part of our answer because that's where it's equal to, and I just want to know greater. So when we were drawing just on a number line with circles, we just kept an open circle. When we are graphing on a coordinate plane with lines, what we're going to do is we are going to make this line dotted, okay? So when we're doing this, the first thing that we have to do is draw the line, then we have to decide whether the line's going to be solid or dotted. If it's just greater than or less than, that's not a part of the solution, so the line is dotted, all right? The next thing that we have to do is we need to shade, just like we drew the arrow up here on this number line. Now we kind of have to show that there's more than these solutions. So the next question we have to ask is, do we shade above or below? Well, this sign up here in this equation, I'm going to erase this because I have a couple different signs here. This sign is greater than. So just let me ask you a question. Does greater than sound like above or below? Greater than sounds like above, right? So we're going to come over here to this line, and we are going to shade everything up here. And all of a sudden, my pen stopped drawing. Let's see if I can get it back. We're going to shade everything up here. All right? And what that means is every single point above that line is a part of our solution. Like this blue point right there, that's a part of the solution. If you plug those x and y's in to that inequality, it's going to be true. Over here, part of our solution, part of our solution, part of our solution, part of our solution, not a part of our solution, okay? What about something on the line? Well, that line's dotted, which means this point right here, not a solution. This point right here, not a solution. But everything up here, every single blue dot, everywhere up here is a part of the solution, okay? Let's do another one. First step, we're going to graph the line. +4 is our y-intercept. Our slope is -2, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. Now we're going to draw our line. So we're going to look, solid or dotted. Well, We know the phrase extra mark, make it dark, right? It's included in the answer. If there's the equal sign right here, right there, bam, right there. If there's that line there, this is going to be a solid line because that's a part of the answer. So last time, no equal sign, greater than, or I'm sorry, less than or greater than, that's a dotted line, okay? But right here, less than or equal to, that's going to be a solid line. So we draw the line. It is solid. Now, do we shade above or below? Well, this sign says less than. Is less than going to be above or below? Right, less than is going to be below. So we're going to shade everything below this line. All right, and this line would really continue out here. So everything below this line is a part of our answer. So if I asked you to examine some points, is the point -5, 0 a part of the solution? Yeah, it sure is. What about the point -2, -3? Is that a part of the solution? Yes. What about the point 4, 2? If I plug 4 and 2 in for x and y up there, is that going to be true? No, it's not. Not a part of the solution. This is a solution, part of the solution, part of the solution. Everything over here is a part of the solution. Everything down here is a part of the solution. Question, is a point on the line a part of the solution? This time it is. That line is solid. Those are included in the answer because I want to know everything that is less than or equal to. So since it's equal to, anything on the line is a part of the solution. Okay, let's see. I think I've got one more. Let's do one more. Y is greater than 1/4 x plus -1/4 x plus 5. So we're going to go up 5. Slope is down 1 over 4. All right, so let's just decide solid or dotted right now. So let's look at this line. Is this going to be a solid line or a dotted line? Well, there's no equal sign down there, so this is definitely going to be a dotted line. So let's just go ahead and make this a dotted line right now as I'm drawing it. Okay, so there's my dotted line. And am I going to shade above or below? Well, this is definitely shading above. Greater than is definitely above, so that's how I do it. That's our answer. Okay, now two more. This one is hard because it starts in standard form, but don't worry, we know how to solve it, right? Subtract the 3x over and then divide by 2. So I'm going to divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2, and I've got y is greater than -3 halves x, and 14 divided by 2 is +7. Okay, so let's graph this. +7, and then down 3 and over 2, down 3 and over 2, down 3 and over 2. I'm just going to ask, is this going to be solid or dotted? Well, once again, there's no extra mark. This is just greater than. It's not greater than or equal to. Okay, there's no line down there. That line doesn't exist. So this is going to be dotted. So let's make it a dotted line. And do I shade above or below? Well, that sign is greater than, so I'm going to shade above. All right, no sweat. Okay. Just a warning, you might have to watch this one twice. All right? Let's look at this. Again, this is standard form, but we know how to deal with this. That's a +2x, right? So let's cross the line, change the sign. Let's subtract the 2x over. Okay. Now, here's what I have. -y is less than or equal to 4 minus 2x. So this is like a -1, right? Because I don't care what -y equals. I just want to know what y equals. So I need to divide the -1 over. Divide by -1, divide by -1. Okay. First, let's do the easy part. -2 divided by -1, that's going to be a +2x. And 4 divided by -1 is going to be a -4. Here's the tricky part. Remember, there's one difference between an inequality and an equation when we're solving them. One difference and one difference only. That difference is, with an inequality, if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to flip the sign. If you multiply or divide by a negative number, which we did in this case, we divided by -1, that means I have to flip the sign. This is not going to be less than or equal to. This is going to be greater than or equal to. Okay? But now we're slope-intercept form, we're good to go. -4 is your y-intercept. +2 is your slope, so we're going up 2 and over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. This time it is going to be a solid line because it's greater than or equal to. There we go. And the sign is greater than, which means above. So remember, all the steps, every single time the steps are the same. Draw the line, decide whether it's solid or dotted, and then decide whether you shade above or below. And remember, anything in the shading is a part of the solution. Any ordered pair that I put in there is, any ordered pair in that red part that I put in there is going to make our original equation up here be true. All right? That's it. I know this wasn't easy. You might have to watch it again or ask me some questions, but you've got it. Good luck.